Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw News Beef. We're going to try to keep this one brief today. Before we get started, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button. Larson, what's going on in the news?
What's going on in the news? So we saw the returns of Becky Lynch and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam this past Sunday. Both of them going to the Smackdown brand. But did those returns to the blue brand ruffle some feathers over at NBC Universal, according to Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast? The answer to that question is maybe. He said during a recent show, the following, these transcripts are from WrestlingNews.co, quote, "There's a little bit of an issue with NBC and the USA guys and the fact that the SmackDown roster is really stacked right now. It is really stacked right now. They got Edge, Seth, Roman, Brock, Becky, Sasha, Bianca, Bailey.
Wow.
That's just off the top of my head. Big E.
Yeah.
You know, it's a stacked roster.
It is a stacked roster, but they're on Fox, so they should get better stuff. And let's be honest, Raw is kind of crap. So until Raw can prove that they can do more with creative. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. It all boils down to why don't these network executives see that? It all boils down to the story. You know? It's like if you tell a compelling story, you can put anybody in those, not anybody, but like all the players there in the WWE, they're all really talented people. So it's like, yeah, okay, you can put Bianca, Becky, Brock, anybody on Raw, and they're going to probably be treated like crap because they don't know what they're doing on that side of the creative. And honestly, like SmackDown isn't great always either.
No, they benefit greatly from having Roman there.
Yeah, but I mean, I see the point, though. You know, like Brock Lesnar, his return, it's a big deal. Becky's return is a big deal. Edge is there. I get it. But yeah, it is. It's always been a point of interest ever since SmackDown moved to Fox. To okay, how are they going to manage juggling these billion-dollar deals? Well, hey, we're giving you $1 billion. And why is Brock Lesnar not on our show? $1 billion can't buy Brock Lesnar on our show. Here you go. This is what you do. And the brand split. No more brand split. And then, or wild card rule. Do that instead. Why not that?
Well, they kind of already have that with the brand-to-brand invitational. Once a quarter, a superstar can go from one show to the other.
Yeah, it's terrible, too.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty lousy. But, you know, we've said for a while, WWE has had some difficulty creating huge stars. They've created stars, huge stars. We talk about mainstream stars. They've had a massive problem with that. And largely that's due to creative ineptitude on Vince's part. If you come up with some good storylines for people that allow people to get invested in them as characters and their stories, then guess what? They get popular. And as they get popular, and you tell better stories with them, they get more popular. And they get popular enough, they cross over into the mainstream. But it all starts with creative. If you don't have good creative, it's not going to happen.
And here's the thing. It doesn't even, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really take that long to happen. When did SmackDown land on Fox? Wasn't it like 2019?
It'll be 2 years in October.
All right. So in 1996, Stone Cold Steve Austin showed up on WWE Raw as the ringmaster, right? And then guess what? 2 years later, he was the hottest thing in pro wrestling. It doesn't take that much time to do it if you have inspired creative. You can turn things around, bang, just like that. Becky Lynch was kind of an overnight deal. Like, she was always pretty popular. People didn't like how she was handled. And then that one moment she turned on Charlotte, guess what? Bang.
Yep.
Hot stuff.
Yep.
So
it can all fall together pretty quickly if you know, if you see there's a character that people are getting behind, a performer people are getting behind, and you invest in good creative, things could fall into place really quickly.
Yeah.
But so how many times have we seen where a performer WB has got some momentum behind him? We just saw this with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
We just saw this with Liv Morgan. She was getting some momentum. The crowd was behind her.
Yeah.
Going into Money in the Bank. And I don't think she's been on TV since the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I mean.
Yeah. Isn't it weird, though, that like $1 billion and they can't step in on like the show that's on their network and say, hey, creatively speaking, this is bankrupt and it's kind of obvious that's why your ratings are bad. Can we make some wholesale changes to whoever, wink, wink, is running creative at the top, wink, wink, because if this is any other company, if they're failing to that level,
I know
they'd be gone.
I know.
Gone.
Problem is,
the second
talking about Vince, and Vince ain't going anywhere.
You remember that, like on Lost, the second, like people were crowing, oh, this season is like season 3. It feels like it's not going anywhere. They like immediately like, oh, everybody, we have to get everybody together and figure out how this thing's gonna end. Like, yeah, this is crazy, man. Anyways, another thing that's crazy is everybody going crazy trying to figure out where Adam Cole, variety streamer Chugs, is going to end up. As far as we've heard, he's still under contract with WWE until tomorrow,
Friday.
And according to the aforementioned Andrew Zarian, WWE was expecting Cole to re-sign. These transcripts are also from WrestlingNews.co. He says, with people that I spoke to within WWE for the longest time, the anticipation was that he would re-sign with WWE. Something changed. Now I'm not being told that he's leaving. I'm also not being told that he's signing with WWE. The conversation with Vince McMahon apparently went well. That was a positive conversation at Smackdown on Friday a couple weeks ago. I don't know what changed. So right now, seems like he's out the door, right? Is that what I'm reading here? Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm Chugs.
Kind of what it seems like.
I'm Chugs. I'm a variety streamer, and
Well, I mean, it could be one of two things. He's made up his mind. He's out the door. He's waiting until the last minute to improve his leverage, maybe get some additional concessions from WWE.
Could be.
If they think, okay, well, he's out the door here. It's Friday at 11:50 in the evening. We have 10 minutes. It's still 10 minutes of an exclusive window to negotiate with him. What are we going to do to try to keep his talents here with us?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be it, or it could be out the door. He could be gone. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We don't know. We haven't really heard much outside of his contracts up on Friday. He has not said word one about what he's doing, apart from saying that his Twitch channel is not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Which, given, and I understand, yes, maybe he can negotiate in his deal something about him continuing the Twitch presence. We haven't seen WWE bend for anybody in that regard yet, but then again, maybe no one's asked for it. But the fact that he said this ain't going anywhere, it doesn't eliminate the possibility of him going to main roster, but it definitely makes it somewhat less likely.
I maintain, and I know we talked about this kind of in private the other day, I maintain that if he hasn't consulted a lawyer, it wouldn't shock me if he has on the Twitch stuff, because he is so, besides the fact that it's like it's literally him. He goes by a different name, calls himself. He doesn't talk about wrestling. The mods ban. They will silence anybody referencing wrestling, and that is a distinct difference between him and, like, let's say AJ Styles, who had his like picture with his wrestling gear on there, like a cartoon version, was basically operating a shoot interview session on his Twitch, which happened to also have video games. Adam Cole's Twitch presence is nothing related to wrestling, and that is a really big difference. I wonder if he sort of cracked the code, like, hey, I'm not doing anything here, even though he knows that people will still seek him out on Twitch. His actual presence there has nothing to do with wrestling. I wonder if that's his workaround for that.
It could be. The one thing you can't work around, though, unless you disguise his actual, like, face.
It's his actual face.
And if WWE, enforces their contract to the absolute letter, it could say you can't use your face, on your Twitch stream. Now, if he wants to do the witness protection thing where he's backlit and stuff, disguise his voice, that type stuff, maybe he can get away with it.
I really appreciate the subs.
Yeah, if he wants to go to those links, he might be 100% in the clear. I don't know.
Ski mask for Chugs.
maybe.
I don't know. Why are ski masks so funny? Because on one hand, they're just meant for skiing. On the other hand, they're the universal code for I'm going to rob your bank.
Yeah, I know. Of all of the ski masks I've seen in my day, I've seen very few on
slopes.
People going skiing.
Right.
I've seen a lot more people robbing banks.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. God, we would have an NXT recap for you, but it's 12:40. We're filming this at 46 minutes past when this episode's supposed to be uploaded to Peacock, and it's still not there.
Not there.
We'll give you. I think the only thing we're probably missing at this point is the coffee match. Let me take a look really quick. We've got Kenny Williams. No, who's supposed to fight?
Oh, it's Kenny Williams and is it Oliver Carter? He's facing in the Heritage Cup tournament.
Kenny Williams went over. It looks like he did so cheating. I don't know exactly how. So Kenny Williams moves on to the Heritage Cup #1 contendership tournament. Valkyrie defeated Ginny in a no DQ match with Joseph Connors in the cage. Looks like Amel is stepping up to Mako, but Millie McKenzie is getting in her way. And that no DQ match looked pretty brutal. And that's it. That's all I got. I think they did like a recap of Ilya and Walter. So now we're just waiting on Joe Coffey. So why don't we do? Oh, and it says next week Nina Samuels versus B Priestley, and Teo Man versus Nathan Frazier.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we can talk Impact then.
Yeah.
Of course, unfortunately, we won't be watching Impact, but fortunately, we will be doing Smash Zone.
Smash Zone tonight on Twitch.
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Twitch. We'll just watch a bunch of random stuff. This is what we got on Impact tonight. Christian Cage will be in the Impact Zone.
Oh, that's cool. The Good Brothers are taking on Rich Swann and Illy Mack. I'm assuming that's not who are the isn't Good Brothers a tag team champion?
They're the tag team champs. I don't think it's for the titles. Chris Sabin is going to be taking on Sami Callihan.
Ooh, and Chris Bay is going to be taking on Dave Finlay. That's still happening.
Yeah, and then Taylor Wilds will be taking on the Influence.
Who is the Influence?
That's Tennille. That's Caleb and Madison Rain.
Okay, cool. All right, right on. So that's happening on Impact, and then I'm just gonna say Rampage won that UK match.
I kind of feel like Rampage needed to win that match, so I'll agree with you.
I feel like it was Rampage. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.